In today's video, how to bulk for skinny guys, I explain my journey through the process and I give you some specific actionable items.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. Happy Friday. Just want to say thank you guys for tuning in, and we're going to discuss how to bulk. And before we get too far into this topic, I've discussed this topic in the past for the broader audience, but I'm going to discuss this for my skinny brothers and sisters out there who really struggle with putting on weight. That's only going to address a certain specific group of people, but I feel like it tells my story. It's my journey as well. So I want to talk about how to do it properly, the mistakes that I made in the past, how I would have corrected those, and discuss why. What's the science behind it? What's the reasoning behind it? If I could go back and talk to my 17, 18, 20-year-old self, what would I say? And so that's what I'm going to give for you guys. And to give you some context, I am 6'3". I walk around 220 pounds. I am now lean, contest lean. I'm down around 200 pounds. I graduated high school at 6'3" and 155 pounds. And I was a true, I guess I would say I was a hard gainer, but I think I was a hard gainer because I was more hard-headed and maybe because I didn't have the knowledge. So let's talk about how I feel we should bulk. Now, for anyone that's an experienced lifter, intermediate, been doing this a long time, I wouldn't suggest bulking as I'm going to describe it now. Bulking as I'm going to describe it now is just rapid weight gain, rapid muscle gain, trying to put on as much scale weight, muscle weight as possible. Now, for a lot of people out there, that's not going to make sense, but if you're a skinny guy like I was obsessed with the scale. Probably like a person who's overweight is obsessed with the scale going down. I was obsessed with it going up. I wanted to get to 175 pounds. I wanted to get to 185 pounds, 200 pounds, 210. I was obsessed all the way until the point till I got to 250 pounds. That's right. I got up to 250 pounds thinking that was the move for me. That's how I was going to get heavy. And I want to talk about how you should do it, how I did it, and why I would suggest doing it this way. So let's talk about gaining muscle. For those of you out there that are skinny, gaining muscle might seem like a very difficult thing. But here's the mistakes I made when I was younger, when I was skinny. I thought that eating more calories was just what I needed. I didn't really pay too much attention to the ratio of my calories or the quality of my calories. I thought if I'm always eating, I'll always be gaining. And if I'm always training, I'll always be gaining. And so for me, for myself, that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to see the scale go up. It wasn't until I saw a little spare tire around my belly that I thought, you know what, maybe I need to start paying attention to what I'm doing here, because I lift every day and I'm starting to look like a blob, right? And so here's what I would suggest for you guys. Don't make the assumption that just because you're gaining weight, you're gaining muscle. Early on in this process, you are going to gain muscle rapidly, all right? Through training, the stimulus, through eating, through your body just gaining to where it should be, okay? Our bodies are capable of a lot, and you're gonna find out naturally what that's like as you go through this process. So the first step in this process is just to start paying attention to your daily macronutrients, your calorie intake, okay? This means you need to have a little bit of accountability. Now, for myself, when my goal was to put on 5 pounds a month, 10 pounds every 2 months, 5, 10 pounds, 20, 30 pounds a year, what was I doing? I was eating everything in sight. I got to the point where back when I was doing this, we had these meal replacement packets, which were like 40 protein, 30 carb. I would add a scoop of ice cream. I would add a banana. Then after that, I would go to Taco Bell, get like a 10 taco. I would eat anything and everything because I wanted to see the scale go up. And that was what I needed for my psychology. It got me excited. I also got in the gym and got after it. Me and my training partner would just constantly be pushing each other, okay? So for skinny guys bulking, I wouldn't really suggest that, but I kind of suggest it. I kind of enjoyed it. I had to get to a place where I was consuming enough protein and enough calories to build muscle. Another thing you really have to pay attention to is your activity level outside of the gym. See, I would consider myself hyperactive when I was younger. I was always either playing basketball, playing volleyball, playing baseball. If I wasn't doing one of those things, we might go to the tennis courts and hit some tennis balls. We rode our bikes around town. I was constantly on the go. I used to go for 45-minute runs for fun when I was in high school. I had problems, right? I was a borderline endurance athlete. And that's another thing. I didn't really account for that. I would say, oh, I'm eating well because I'm eating enough protein when I was young, but I wouldn't pay attention to all the other things that were going on. So my recovery wasn't the best it could be, and I wasn't eating the proper type of calories to promote my lifestyle. So when it comes to bulking, let's focus on getting those calories in. Let's also focus on what's going on in our lifestyle outside of the gym. I will say this, when I started to put more emphasis on bodybuilding, putting on muscle, I backed off the cardio, I backed off the basketball. You know, I started playing a couple days a week. I started training legs more because I wasn't doing basketball a couple days a week, right? So it starts to come down to your passions. And I think you'll find if you're bulking, if that's your goal, you're gonna find if it's truly your passion, because if you have to reduce some other activities, you might find that you truly love it. And that's what happened. I got bit by the bodybuilding bug, and I'll never forget the first time I hit 200 pounds. It was just such a rush. And then I thought, well, let's go for 210, you know? So that's where you gotta pay attention to what's going on. A couple things I would do. One, keep an eye on your waist measurement, all right? So our bodies are going to grow. Our chest, our lats, our arms, right? So these measurements up here are going to expand. However, the waist, if you measure around where the navel is, that's mostly body fat, okay? So if you see the inches going up on your waist, then you know you're putting on body fat. That's one of the best indicators for men to pay attention to. For us skinny guys, if we start getting too much belly fat, then we can get into a place where we're actually not able to process food and digest things properly. We can get into a place where our insulin sensitivity gets messed with. So when it comes to bulking, one of the best approaches is a higher protein approach. Why? Well, it's really hard for the body to take a protein source, break it down into amino acids, store those amino acids, and then put it into adipose tissue. That process is very difficult. So a higher protein approach, and by higher protein, when I was 200 pounds, I was eating 300 grams of protein per day. That's a lot. I got sick of freaking protein. My chicken and steak bill got ridiculous. But I found it allowed me to eat a lot of food, recover, train, and improve without putting on body fat, okay? Would I suggest 300 grams of protein for everybody? No. But I was consuming 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day to keep up with my daily demands. This is where you have to pay attention to what your calories are going to look like each day, okay? So, are you okay with getting sloppy? I was okay with getting sloppy. For us skinny guys, I don't think there's ever going to be an issue with getting sloppy and then having the body fat come back off. Granted, I got up to 250 pounds and felt like a sloth, but I also benched 400 pounds. I squatted 400 pounds, terrible. Deadlift well over 500 pounds. So I got to a place where I was the strongest I've ever been. I was doing like 150 pound dumbbells, right? I was moving all the weights in the gym and I felt great. But when I was outside of the gym, I was not athletic anymore. I was slow on the basketball court. Going up and down stairs was a bitch. I just didn't feel like myself. So it took me this lifetime, this journey of bulking and cutting and getting into competitive bodybuilding to find my place. But I wasn't in a rush. I love this stuff. I love this process. Now I've found that my bulking is less bulking, more reverse dieting, more intentionally adding calories to bring up my body fat slowly along with some lean body mass. And then every couple of years I diet down, I get nice and lean like this, and then as soon as that's over, I reverse the process again. And I love this process. So, but for us skinny guys, I think the most important thing is that we just accept the fact that we're gonna need to eat some calories, so you gotta have some accountability. Pay attention to your lifestyle outside of the gym. Are you doing things that are inhibiting your muscle gains? Are you doing things that are inhibiting your recovery from the gym? Okay? And you constantly wanna be pushing yourself in the gym, whether that's new training systems, whether that's adding sets or reps, whether that's finding a training partner that pushes you. You have to be constantly looking for new stimulus in the gym, okay? You can't do the same workout over and over. There's many ways to approach that, and that's a whole nother video. But for skinny guys, for bulking, the idea is start having some accountability with your calories. Just because you eat big once or twice a day, you might actually still be under consuming for your day. You might actually not be eating enough protein for your recovery needs, okay? Protein can be difficult at times. And then let's just get after it, guys. So that's it. Get after it. My skinny brothers and sisters, let's grow, let's bulk. Don't let the internet tell you you shouldn't put on 15, 20, 30 pounds, okay? If it's something you're passionate about, do it. Body fat comes off, especially if you spend the time eating a lot, your metabolism ramps up, I have no problem getting lean when it's time to get lean. You won't either. All right, guys, you have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All by myself.